Hi, I'm Digger Phelps. Catch the action as the LaSalle Explorers take on my Fighting Irish tonight at 6:30 on Channel 9.
Tonight, up to his keister in clean water.
Well, there's just nothing for him to eat. The chlorine's killing everything.
The president, defeated decisively on clean water legislation. On Health Beat, the heavy burden faced by overweight children.
Whenever I eat peanut butter and jelly, everyone goes to me, fatso.
A lifelong and life-threatening burden. Also tonight, on tour, the Wyeths and Helga, too.
I knew immediately that it was a national treasure. There's no question in my mind about it.
An extraordinary exhibit.
From the Independent News, this is USA Tonight with Morton Dean.
Good evening. The president took a bath in the House of Representatives today. At issue was a clean water bill. At stake was a lot more. It was the first of the spending battles in Congress this year. Mr. Reagan lost. It was also a test of whether the president's magic was back. Mr. Reagan lost. 401 members of the House voted against him, only 26 with him. 147 Republicans jumped ship to help override the president's veto of the $20 billion program. Most of that money is for the states to build wastewater and sewage treatment plants. It's just the kind of legislation the Congress loves. It helps every state. The Senate is expected to deliver the knockout blow to the president's veto later in the week. In Focus, Barry Cunningham takes us to one body of water where some of that federal money might go.
The Clean Water Bill would spend $6 billion more than the president wanted to upgrade sewage treatment plants like this one on Maryland's western shore. Millions of gallons of sewage from dozens of treatment plants are flushed into the Chesapeake Bay each day. Chesapeake fishermen say that in making water safe for human beings, we're making it unsafe for marine life. Like most of the nation's major waterways, the Chesapeake Bay may seem perfectly clear and swimmable, but fishermen say there are invisible pollutants here that are gradually killing off fish and waterfowl. Clammers and oystermen say their shellfish harvest is dwindling day by day.
Water's too pure for us. It's, don't have no bacteria in it. That's what a lot of things live off of.
Well, there's just nothing for him to eat. The chlorine's killing everything.
How do you know these toxic hot spots in the water?
Like, you just see a big kill. Everything dead. You're getting over 15 feet of water, you can't catch anything now, where you used to be able to catch it right on down the edge all the time, but you can't now.
Shellfish can also suffocate when too much oxygen is used up dissolving bacteria in water. The bill would launch a $2 billion campaign against runoff pollution from farms and factories.
Bottom line there is that nothing can live below 15 or 20 feet in parts of the bay during the summertime. That's really been a blow not only to the seafood industry in Maryland, but to the people who use and enjoy the bay, which is just about everybody in this state.
Environmentalists like Scott Burns of the Chesapeake Bay Foundation say the bill reflects popular support for cleaning up the nation's waters. But they also admit that $20 billion spread around to create jobs in sewer systems does sound suspiciously like the pork barrel legislation President Reagan opposes.
That is so loaded with waste and larded with pork, I cannot in conscience sign it.
Pork barrel is when you build a dam where no dam is needed, or you build a federal office building that's not really needed. But to build a sewage treatment plant where there is none, to treat the waste that's going into a local river or stream, that's not pork barrel. That's environmental protection.
The yeas are 401.
In today's lopsided vote to override the president's veto, pork barrel seemed to mean whether you got money for your district.
If you don't get it in your state, you can say it's pork barrel in somebody else's state.
Whatever you call it, the message to the president was that clean water cost money. By some estimates, the measure leaves the states facing $90 billion in cleanup costs by the year 2000. On Chesapeake Bay, this is Barry Cunningham.
Whether or not they want the money, Congress is getting a big pay hike, at least temporarily. The $12,000 raises automatically go into effect at midnight. That's because the House today failed to vote on the pay raise, a pay raise voted down by the Senate last week. The raises can still be killed retroactively, and the House vote is set for tomorrow. In addition to Congress, pay hikes will go to thousands of top federal officials and federal judges. No matter how the House votes, the judges will still keep their raises, since Congress doesn't have the power to take them away retroactively. The U.S. Senate is speeding toward a head-on collision with the House. The Senate voted today to allow states to raise their speed limits to 65 miles per hour. The House had voted to keep the speed limit at 55. So now a conference committee from both houses will decide whether to accelerate or put on the brakes. Up next, the U.S. sends more assault forces in the direction of Lebanon, and on Health Beat, a problem faced by more and more children.
Whenever I eat peanut butter and jelly, everyone goes to me, fatso.
USA Tonight, brought to you by the General Foods Corporation.
I just got dentures. But with Fixident, I don't get the dentures come a loose blues.
Fixident and forget it.
Denture wearers can't eat everything. But with Fixident, I can feast more than just my eyes.
Fixident and forget it. Fixident helps fix loose spots for a strong hold that lasts longer than any leading cream.
A woman in my position can't worry about hold.
Use Fixident and forget it.
I can't believe you talked me into this.
Admit it. It's just too good to resist.
You're right. So, what's it called?
Fruit and...
Forget the fiber in Fruit and Fiber. You're gonna love it just for the taste.
Only Fruit and Fiber has all these lush combinations, overflowing with sweet fruit, fresh, crunchy nuts, and surrounded with the highest fiber flakes.
This is the greatest.
You're gonna love it just for the taste.
Post Fruit and Fiber cereal. Tastes so good you forget the fiber.
If Wick's is the low-price warehouse showroom, Harlem must be the lower-than-low-price showroom, because our prices for these same exact sets are so much less. $400 less for this 3-piece international living room set. $500 less for this 4-piece Thomasville bedroom. Don't pay $900 more at Wick's. Pay $900 less at Harlem.
Harlem has style.
Furniture.
Harlem has quality.
Discounts.
Nice price place since 1912. Harlem Furniture, you like our style.
Great news, great value. Get 3.9% and up to a $600 cash rebate from Ford. Yes, 3.9% in cash at Burt Wyman Ford. Your choice, all with their only $29.88 full price. A 1982 Ford Granada, $29.88. A 1982 Chevy Malibu Classic, $29.88. This 1982 Pontiac Phoenix, $29.88. At Chicago's #1 Ford dealer, Burt Wyman Ford, 3535 North Ashland.
U.S. nuclear test of the year went off today, 700 feet beneath Nevada. It could have reverberations all the way to Moscow. The Kremlin has warned that a U.S. nuclear test would put an end to the Soviets' unilateral moratorium on its nuclear testing. The U.S. has refused a test ban with the Soviets, saying there is no way to guard against cheating. U.S. warships are now poised within striking distance of the Lebanese coast. They've been moving in since the recent taking of more U.S. hostages. Although no strike orders have been given, the kidnappers are still threatening to kill the hostages if the U.S. launches an attack. Jeff Kamen has the latest details.
Leaving Rota, Spain 2 days ahead of schedule, a 5-ship U.S. assault force carrying 1,900 Marines is steaming toward Lebanon. It's the second Marine unit to be ordered into the zone in 48 hours. A similar amphibious assault force and 2 aircraft carrier battle groups are already within striking distance of terrorist targets in Lebanon. It was because terrorists grabbed more Americans that the president ordered the fleet movements. Then the terrorists said if the fleet attacked, the hostages would be murdered. Today, Reagan administration officials who asked not to be identified told reporters that the U.S. won't do anything to jeopardize the safety of the captives. Nevertheless, the fleet kept on moving. I asked Lebanon's ambassador to the United States if an American military strike could improve the chaotic situation in his country.
If you know who are the terrorists and you can eliminate them by using military force, you no doubt can gain the support, the credibility, and the love of the Lebanese, not only the region, of the Lebanese. If you know what we are afraid of, that you may fumble, that you may go and kill civilians, and the terrorists would be safe. You know, we are talking about this on TV. Do you think the terrorists are going to sleep in the same place you think they are?
Ambassador Abu Habib told me the Reagan administration inadvertently encouraged the terrorists to seize more Americans by swapping arms for hostages with Iran.
Sometimes, unfortunately, your position is that to yield to terrorism.
The Reagan administration today posted a $250,000 reward for information about the terrorists who placed the bomb in TWA Flight 840 from London to Rome last April, which killed 4 American passengers.
All information received will be handled confidentially. We will protect the identities of persons providing information.
A knowledgeable Middle East source told me tonight that posting the reward was probably a pretty good idea, but that bringing the fleet into attack position is not. The source said that is because if the U.S. fails to attack, it will be further regarded as a gutless giant, while if it does attack and kills innocents, that will help recruit additional fighters to the terrorist organizations. Jeff Kamen in Washington.
Today, the Iranian government officially described detained Wall Street Journal reporter Gerald Saib as an Israeli spy. The U.S. continues to urge Saib's release and says he may have been detained by mistake. A personal communique from White House Communications Director Patrick Buchanan. Buchanan is leaving the White House effective March 1st after 2 years on the job. The man known in the White House as Mr. Conservative says he's stepping down to have greater influence in the Republican Party. He recently decided against running for president in 1988. Buchanan has been on the president's most vocal supporters on the Iran arms deal. Coming up, should an AIDS test be required to get a marriage license? And the secret works of an obsessed artist will go on public display.
The golfer and the homemaker have something in common. We call it athlete's back. That sudden minor back pain that comes from overused muscles. New Doan's ibuprofen backache pills contain the most modern pain relief medicine you can buy without prescription.
Relieving back pain doesn't have to be hit or miss.
Ibuprofen has worked for millions.
New Doan's works directly on minor back pain to relieve it in the early stages.
New Doan's helps put your athlete's back in action fast.
Nice night.
Yeah.
In recent clinical studies, one group used scope and another group used Lavoris. The results? Even after 3 hours, Lavoris was more effective than scope at reducing bad breath. We always knew Lavoris with zinc chloride was more effective than scope. To appreciate how much more effective Lavoris is, we suggest you do your own field research.
Would you believe this love seat is 15 years old? It is. And it still looks new because it's been protected with heavy-duty Ward's custom furniture covers. Get plastic, cloth, Naugahyde, or Durafab covers at factory-to-you prices. Covers are available from as low as $14.95 for sofas, $11.95 for love seats, or $7.95 for chairs. Call now and get Ward's custom covers, 2 for 1 clean and cover at one low price. Don't wait. Call 829-1650. Ward's custom covers.
Attention campers! Save thousands of dollars now during Tom Raper's 19th Annual Camper Show inside Richmond Square Mall, Richmond, Indiana.
Tom Raper has gigantic savings on all motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers, tent campers, truck campers, and caps.
Free admission to the finest, largest individual dealer camper show in the Midwest.
Inside the beautiful, heated Richmond Square Mall, Richmond, Indiana. I-70 to exit 156A, Route 40 West.
2 miles to Tom Raper's Camper Show.
Open 10 to 9, Sunday noon to 6.
Big discounts during show.
USA Tonight's Health Beat is brought to you by Advanced Formula Dristan.
The next time you check into a hospital or take out a marriage license, you may also be tested for AIDS. To help prevent the spread of AIDS, federal health officials are considering a new plan. The plan would make AIDS blood test mandatory for all people admitted to hospitals and for all couples who apply for marriage licenses. The idea of testing people who want to get married is to alert them and thus protect future spouses and future children from AIDS. Right now, the AIDS test plan is only in the discussion stage. Chubby babies may be cute, but chubby babies who become chubby children and then become chubby adults may be flirting with medical disaster. In tonight's Health Beat report, Karen Hasby explains the dangers of letting our children become obese and some of the solutions.
Every time I go to my school, everyone thinks I'm chubby, but I'm not. Whenever I eat peanut butter and jelly, everyone goes to me fatso.
So why do you come here to get exercise?
To keep skinny.
Gregory is one of the lucky kids. This after-school program is one of the few in the country designed specifically to help kids fight fat. And unfortunately, the numbers show a lot of these programs are needed. 20 years ago, 18% of the children between the ages of 6 and 11 were obese. Today, that figure has grown to nearly 30%. One recent study showed that a major reason kids are fat is that their parents are fat.
There's very clearly a genetic, hereditary component to obesity, and that's been firmly established during the last year. Very clearly it's there. But it doesn't exist in a vacuum, and it doesn't make people fat all by itself.
Dr. Stunkard's research shows that even if a child inherits a tendency toward obesity, he still has to overeat to be overweight. And he says a major villain in kids' eating habits is television.
American children spend enormous amounts of time in front of television, and in fact, a researcher up at Harvard has just recently shown that the more kids watch television, the fatter they are. So that by decreasing physical activity, encouraging a passive lifestyle, sitting in front of the tube, is certainly one of the ways of producing obesity.
Aside from cosmetic concerns, studies also show an alarming number of children as young as 5 have high blood pressure and elevated blood cholesterol levels. For overweight children, like overweight adults, it seems the solution is painfully simple. Eat less and exercise more.
It's probably tougher for a kid who's overweight to go out and exercise. They're more vulnerable to being laughed at by their peers. What kind of exercise can these kids get involved in?
Schools in particular should develop exercise programs that are not exclusively competitive sports, or to have types of competition that are less demanding and without the intensity of the need for winning all the time.
It's terribly important in the schools to have programs that will allow kids to be active without having to be superstars or Super Bowl athletes. And that's, again, where parents can play an enormously important role in encouraging activities that are not sports, but walking and hiking and swimming and the kind of things that families can do together.
One final word of caution: don't go too far. Aside from being overweight, the most serious eating disorder in children is self-starvation. In more ways than one, it's a matter of hitting the proper balance. In New York, I'm Karen Hasby.
USA Tonight's Health Beat was brought to you by Advanced Formula Dristan.
When you have a cold, this is the focus of suffering. Where you want Dristan, where you clog, drip, throb. Dristan gives you extra relief. Many cold products contain antihistamine, others add decongestant, but Dristan adds a third medicine to relieve aches and pains, an extra medicine for extra relief at the focus of suffering. Dristan, tablets, and new coated caplets too.
Today you have a choice in the way your coffee is decaffeinated. Some brands use chemicals like methylene chloride or ethyl acetate. But Taster's Choice does it naturally, using no chemicals. Just pure water and oil from the coffee bean itself. So when you choose Taster's Choice naturally decaffeinated coffee, you get pure, rich tasting coffee. And absolutely nothing else.
Plaque. It's not something you want on your teeth, but if you smoke, it can be worse, because tar and nicotine stains on smokers' teeth can be trapped by plaque deposits that form regularly. Regular brushing with Topol helps remove tar and nicotine stains. And now, a new clinical study shows brushing with Topol helps remove plaque. Use Topol Smoker's Tooth Polish. It fights tar and nicotine stains, and it fights plaque.
Now, save $1. Look for specially marked packages of Topol at participating retailers.
One air traffic controller said it was just like deja vu, a small private plane in a near collision with a passenger jet in the same airspace as last year's deadly disaster over Cerritos, California. Federal officials say the Cessna prop plane missed hitting Aeromexico Flight 498 by less than 500 feet on Saturday. The Aeromexico jet had been given permission to land in Los Angeles. The Cessna was flying in restricted airspace and never showed up on radar or radio. Federal officials are still searching for the Cessna's pilot. Last August, an Aeromexico jet with the same flight number was preparing to land when a Piper Cherokee plane crashed into its tail over Cerritos. All 64 people on board the jet were killed, so were the 3 people in the small plane and 15 others on the ground. Investigators still have not discovered why the Piper was flying in that restricted airspace. A stern warning to the skipper of the U.S. Challenger in the America's Cup competition. An Australian TV station says it received a death threat against Stars and Stripes helmsman Dennis Conner. So Conner and his multi-million-dollar yacht are reportedly under heavy guard. Stars and Stripes is just one race from victory over Australia's Kookaburra 3. Today was a day off from racing. While the Americans planned strategy, the Aussies seemed to all but concede defeat. A major supporter of the Australian team announced a $30 million campaign to win back the Cup in 1990. Meanwhile, fans were busy singing the praises of their favorite teams. And for the Aussie crew.
Mr. Conner, you have got no time to gloat. If you think you've won the cup, you've badly missed your boat. So
The next race is set for Wednesday. He took the gamble, and it sure paid off. A California man has won the largest slot machine jackpot ever. On Sunday, Terry Williams played the Megabuck slot machine at Harrah's in Reno, Nevada. He put in $47 worth of coins. What he got back was a check for $4.9 million. That's a better deal than the bank. Mr. Williams is absolutely stunned by his giant windfall.
It's absolutely wonderful. I never thought it could happen to me.
Right now, Terry Williams works 2 jobs. He plans to change that situation very soon. Williams says he wants to use his good fortune to help abused children. What allowed Mr. Williams to win nearly $5 million is a new system that pools the money in all of the casino slot machines. Up next, an artist's secret revealed for full public view.
Tonight at 5:30, the doctor is in.
The doctor is hot, baby. The doctor's on his way. The doctor is operating.
And WKRP is on the air.
I got one thing to say about that.
It's wonderful.
You were wonderful.
I know her. And it's on Channel 9.
Ooh, things just keep getting stranger and stranger.
WKRP, tonight at 5:30 on Channel 9.
Look, it's not your fault. Most any food or drink can cause bad breath, even a cheeseburger. You need Clorettes. Only Clorettes has Actisol with chlorophyll to clean up bad breath fast. Clorettes, because you have bad breath more often than you think.
Hemorrhoids. They hurt, burn, and swell. And more doctors recommend Anusol to relieve the hurting than all other hemorrhoid medicines combined. Anusol is the word to remember for relief.
Great news, great value. Get 3.9% and up to a $600 cash rebate from Ford. Yes, 3.9% and cash at Burt Wyman Ford. Outstanding values, your choice, all with air, 1988 full price. A 1981 Olds Cutlass, 1988. 1988 buys us 1981 Chevy Malibu Classic. And 1988 buys us 1981 Ford Escort at Chicago's #1 Ford dealer, Burt Wyman Ford, 3535 North Ashland.
Why'd you join? Usual reason. Running away? Woman. Ah, yeah. How about you? Jola's husband? Forged check?
Taxes. I couldn't face filling out my tax form. I didn't know how.
Heard a lot of stories out here, brother, but you're the first guy to join the Legion because he couldn't fill out a form.
Had no choice.
Oh, sure you did. The IRS can help. Volunteer assistance for the elderly, handicapped, lower income, non-English speaking. Free publications, telephone assistance, community outreach for groups, lots more.
You're kidding.
I never kid. Most of it's available in your community, and it's free.
Free? Free? I can go home.
Hey, listen, if you should see my wife...
I'm free! 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 I'm free!
For more information, write or call the IRS.
USA Tonight, brought to you by Taster's Choice.
The prognosis is not good for pianist Liberace. The glitzy entertainer slipped into a coma this evening, and there is word a priest has been called to deliver last rites. Liberace's attorney says the 63-year-old star's breathing and pulse have both become very weak. He is said to be suffering from anemia and emphysema, but according to a Las Vegas newspaper, he's suffering from AIDS. Attorneys for Liberace deny that report. The world's most famous paint job on a ceiling is causing a big fuss in Rome. Michelangelo's masterpiece on the Sistine Chapel ceiling is being restored. A leading art historian complains it's not being restored, it's being permanently damaged. James Beck of Columbia University says a cleaning solvent used by restorers is removing protective layers of coating put there by Michelangelo himself. Beck claims he's seen similar restorations and they look undistinguished and flat. The ceiling is half done, but the historian says we must save what can be saved. The works of painter Andrew Wyeth are among the best-known paintings in the United States, but Wyeth had a secret cache of hundreds of paintings using the same model, that blonde, blue-eyed Pennsylvania neighbor known only as Helga. Since the paintings were revealed, they've been shown in publications around the country, but now the public will be able to see them in person for the first time when they're exhibited at the National Art Gallery in Washington. Jan Smith reports.
The pictures of Helga, hidden in Andrew Wyeth's attic and from his wife for 15 years, will be unveiled before the American public in the spring. About 140 paintings and sketches of the mysterious model will be on display, and viewers will be able to judge for themselves why Andrew Wyeth was so obsessed with his neighbor Helga that he painted her for this length of time and kept the work secret. What explains this remarkable devotion to one model? Is it love?
That's really in the eye of the beholder.
But this is the longest relationship with one model that has been documented to your knowledge, isn't it?
Well, I think the most intense, yes, that's what's extraordinary about it.
The sale of the secret artwork created a national sensation last year when it was revealed that Leonard Andrews paid an estimated $10 million for the 240-piece collection.
I knew immediately that it was a national treasure. There's no question in my mind about it, and I think when the public sees it, they will agree.
Not all art historians agree that Andrew Wyeth is a great painter, and some are critical of the Helga craze.
It focuses attention on a group of paintings for the wrong reason, and it leaves a lot of other artists and a lot of very fine painters getting zero attention because they're not part of that, or they don't hype things that way.
The directors of the National Gallery of Art defend their decision to help launch the exhibition tour.
It's very rare for an artist of the world fame of Andrew Wyeth to come up suddenly with a whole body of work that nobody had seen. This is 15 years of going at one theme, and we will have an opportunity to see this in the original for the first time.
The exhibit opens here at the National Gallery at the end of May. Then the Helga pictures will be taken to Boston, Houston, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Detroit. Judging by the interest now, museum directors are expecting record crowds because finally, Andrew Wyeth's secrets will be shared with the public. In Washington, Jan Smith reporting.
And that's USA Tonight. I'm Morton Dean. Have a good night and a good day tomorrow.
This song to Mr. Connor. I'm sure you'll enjoy it, so here we go. Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Connor, if you think we're on the run? We are the boys who will play your little game. on Kookaburra 3. He's out there to beat the Yanks and bring us victory. So come on, mister.
Join me, LeVar Burton, and Chicago area high school students for Know Your Heritage, the exciting Black History Quiz Show this Saturday on WGN TV 9.